Inseparable, Bonakele Hlengu the Deejay. A story written and read by Mems Uvuyo. Chapter 1, Introduction. Bonakele Hlengu, a 28-year-old talented musician who grew up with his single mother in one of the well-known townships in South Africa, eKhayelitsha. Bonakele, who was also known as DJ BK, started his music career at an age of 17 on the year 2006. The same year, his older late brother Bonakele Hlengu was announced as the second best DJ in Cape Town. The 24-year-old Bonakele was shot after being accused of having an affair with a married woman. He was shot by the woman's husband, Sandile Mbiko, who is now serving his time in prison with no chance of parole. Before the death of Bonakele's older brother Bonakele, their father, who was a fossil collector, he was recently reported deceased during a car accident. Their father was a well-known fossil collector with the highest fossil record. Many say the accident was not just an accident, it was suicide, as he was reported to have published a false report on his collection. By law, if this was true, the 45-year-old Welisile Jacob Hlengu was facing real jail time. Phumeza Marian Hlengu, the 38-year-old mother of Bonakele Hlengu and the late Bonakele Hlengu, ex-wife of the late Welisile Jacob Hlengu, was a cashier at a retail store in Belleville. She was a strong woman who was always there for both of their boys after she was divorced by Welisile on the year 2005. She remained a single mom ever since. Yet, her late husband was engaged with a young, beautiful 26-year-old white girl, Jessica Henga. Chapter 2, Changing Lanes. St. Peter's High School. Bonakele was a bright student according to his maths and science teachers, who was always in time and in class. His dream was to be a chemical engineer. Even Kakamba Ranki, the principal of St. Peter's High School, was impressed by his performance. On the year 2007, 4 months after Welisile and Bonakele's deaths, according to his teachers, Bonakele had stopped attending school and weekend classes. This bothered his teachers a lot. One afternoon, right after school, Mr. Mqhope, Bonakele's science teacher, shouted at Bonakele as he was walking towards the school gate. Mr. Mqhope. Bonakele, wait just there. Bonakele. Yes, Menir. What's the matter, sir? Mr. Mqhope. Bonakele, I've noticed that you're not attending afternoon and weekend classes anymore. Why is that, Bonakele? Bonakele. Oh yes, sir. As much as I hate to say, but I get really busy afternoon, especially on weekends. Mr. Mqhope. Really? Is the really busy really keep you away from being really busy attending classes, Bonakele? I understand you have recently lost your father and brother, but you have to accept the fact that they are gone. You have to be strong. Bonakele. I didn't have a father, and yes, I might have lost my brother, but I will make him proud, and my mom too. So please, sir, I really need to get going. I don't want to be late for my sessions. Bonakele smiles. Mr. Mqhope. What sessions, Bonakele? Bonakele. Music sessions, sir. I have pending projects, and they are waiting for me. I can't afford to be late. Mr. Mqhope. If I may ask, young man, what happened to your dream? You know the theory that says abandoning dream is like sucking poison out of a snake's teeth. You're a smart kid. I'm sure you're aware of this. Bonakele. Okay, sir, I think we're done here now. I really need to get going. Oh, sir, feel free to call me DJ BK. He smiles and walked away. Mr. Mqhope stood there, skeptical. He couldn't believe the energy and effort Bonakele had to whatever pending project he was talking about. Mr. Mkhope couldn't just let him make bad decisions, walk pathless roads. Mr. Mkhope went straight to Mrs. Ranchi right after he had spoken to Bonakele, to try and convince her to visit Bonakele's mother and address the situation with her, as he thought Bonakele's mother wasn't aware of the young man's actions. A week later, on a Monday afternoon, Mr. Mkhope and Mrs. Ranchi both went to Bonakele's home, hoping to figure this all out with Bonakele's mother. Unfortunately, no one was home. They sat and waited for Bonakele's mother in Mrs. Ranchi's car. A few hours later, Bonakele approached the house, still on his school uniform. Mrs. Ranchi and Mr. Mkhope decided to go talk to Bonakele and maybe ask where her mother was. Just before Mrs. Ranchi knocked on the door, Bonakele opened and said, "You both came to talk to my mother about me. Well, you can talk to her for as long as you want. She's in that room," points and walks out the door. Mrs. Ranchi and Mrs. Mkhope went to the bedroom, slowly and gently opened the door. According to Mrs. Ranchi, the atmosphere changed in seconds. This bedroom was another planet. It stank beyond measures. A blackout in a mortuary for a month. Chapter 3. DJ BK Bonakele. Phone ringing. Luvo. Bonakele, scheme. What's happening? Bonakele. I'm on my way, bro. We need to talk about the new project we're busy with. Luvo. No stress, bro. Oh yeah, BK, we have a gig on Wednesday, bro. Just informing you. Bonakele. I'm only available in the afternoons, bro. After school. Luvo. Bro, I really didn't want to say this, but you have to decide on what you really want, man. You can't have your bread buttered both sides, bro. I'm sure you knew it would really eventually come down to this. Bonakele. Alright, cool, man. I understand. See ya. Hangs up. Luvo Mbiko, a professional DJ known as DJ Lou, who once worked with Bonakele's brother Tobani. Bonakele came crawling to me, begged me to teach him everything I taught Tobani, and so I gave the young boy a chance, Luvo said. Back at home, Mrs. Ranchi had immediately phoned an ambulance. Phumeza was dying. She was immediately rushed to the hospital together with Mrs. Ranchi and Mrs. Mkhope driving behind the ambulance to the hospital. A few hours later, Mrs. Ranchi and Mrs. Mkhope were informed that Phumeza was diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer. But why? Why didn't Bonakele say? Why was he polite and acted as if everything was okay? Mrs. Ranchi and Mrs. Mkhope had a lot of questions, but they couldn't figure out none of them. 2 weeks later, Bonakele wasn't attending school at all. Mr. Ranchi decided to go for another visit to Bonakele's home, hoping to find him. It was a waste of time. She couldn't find him at all. Phumeza was slowly recovering. Bonakele visited her at least once a week, and Mrs. Mkhope and Mrs. Ranchi visited almost every day. After a short while, Phumeza was discharged and went back to his house. 5 years later, Bonakele had made a breakthrough on his music career as a producer and a professional DJ. Mrs. Ranchi would listen to him talking on the radio interviews and school kids talking a lot about him. She was proud of who Bonakele had become, but yet she couldn't figure out as to why he didn't take care of his mother the time she was sick. Chapter 4. The Cookie Jar. DJ BK, a prominent, well-known and respected DJ in Cape Town. He was working hard as to be the first best DJ of the year 2012. Truthfully speaking, Bonakele had made it. He had cash pouring out of his account, a fancy car, rolling with other well-known prominent DJs, not only around from Cape Town but all over around South Africa. Bonakele was killing it, said Luvo in his interview about Bonakele. One evening, right after a gig in Cape Town Long Street, Bonakele proposed to his 20-year-old girlfriend, Xolelwa Mbiko. Xolelwa was a young, smart girl who was on her first year in university, a law student. All went well that year. Bonakele had also moved out of Khayelitsha to the suburbs of Cape Town together with his mother. 8 months later, Bonakele and Xolelwa tied the knot. Well, it wasn't really the best year because Bonakele's mother couldn't hold on any longer. She died a week after the marriage. As well known as BK was, the death of his mother was announced on the morning live news, newspapers and radio stations. The moment Mrs. Ranji heard about it, she decided to attend the funeral. Mrs. Ranji: hello Bonakele. Bonakele: Mrs. Ranji, how are you? You came to the funeral. I'm thankful for that, ma'am. Mrs. Ranji: no problem, Bonakele. I see you have made a breakthrough. It was hard. You're a brave man, Bonakele. I'm really sorry for your mother. She was a strong woman, Bonakele. Thank you, ma'am. I'm really thankful for everything you have done to us. I'm sure wherever she is thankful too. Mrs. Ranchi: I'm sure she is. After the funeral, Mrs. Ranchi went to talk to Bonakele once more, this time trying to find out if Bonakele loved her mother this much. Why would she let her suffer all these years? She was eager to know, but Bonakele walked away from her when she tried asking about it. Chapter 5: The Moment of Truth. 6 years later, Bonakele and Xolelwa decided to start their own family. In just a few weeks, Xolelwa was pregnant. All up and excited Bonakele was, it really didn't last long when he learned the truth about his wife from Luvo, who his wife was, and the secrets that she's been keeping away from him. Secrets that costed Bonakele everything he had worked for. His wife was Sandile Mbiko's daughter, the man that shot his brother 12 years ago. These were unpleasant news for the 28-year-old Bonakele. He was a prominent DJ, always on the news. This information was all over the media in less than 24 hours. Sandile was aware of this as he was still in prison. Bonakele drove straight home that morning as he had an early gig. Bonakele: Xolelwa, 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 why my love? Xolelwa: this wasn't supposed to come out like this, Bonakele. I'm really sorry. After what my father did, I hated him. I never even went to visit him, not even for a single day in prison. I knew if I had told you this, you'd dump me. I love you, Bonakele, and I hope deep inside, in your heart, you will forgive me. You will find it in your heart to forgive me. Bonakele: I need time, Xolelwa. I need a lot of time. He walked out the door. Bonakele booked him a hotel room, stayed there for some time. One afternoon, after a radio interview, Bonakele was driving to his hotel room. He had switched his phone off while he was on air. When he switched it back on, he had a number of countless voice messages from his wife. He turned around and drove to his house. On the way, trying to call his wife, Xolelwa's friend picked up. Xolelwa's friend: Bonakele, come quickly. We are on our way to the hospital. He reaches the hospital. It looks like your wife is giving birth sooner than expected. Bonakele. Whoa. Okay. I'm on my way. Can she talk? Give her the phone, please. Xolelwa, his friend. Okay, hold on. Xolelwa. Bonakele. We are okay, baby, don't worry. We're waiting for you. Her phone battles die. Bonakele. Okay, baby, hang in there. I'm on my way, okay? Xolelwa, hello? Xolelwa, are you there? Damn it. Arriving in the hospital, Bonakele ran into the reception and asked about his wife. Bonakele. Afternoon, ma'am. I'm here looking for Bonakele Hlengu, my wife. The receptionist. Okay, wait a moment. Pages the book. Your wife came in 30 minutes ago, Mr. Hlengu, and the doctors are still busy with her. Please take a seat. Bonakele. Okay, ma'am. Please let me know as soon as they're done. The receptionist will do. Bonakele went back to sit down, had a little chat with Xolelwa's friend as they were both waiting to hear from the doctors. A moment later, horrifyingly, Xolelwa died while giving birth, but the doctors were able to save his premature son. Chapter 6. Sandile Mbiko's Freedom. On the 18th of July 2018, Sandile Mbiko was released from prison, but for a day. He was again arrested. His anger really had him twisted. Sandile's desire was to meet face to face with the man that killed his one and only daughter, Xolelwa. On the following day after Sandile's release, Bonakele was sitting on a chair next to his son, who he named Baxolele. He was still fragile, so the doctors wouldn't allow Bonakele to touch him. He would sit there for hours, sometimes a full day, praying to God at least to keep his son alive, as he had lost everyone he had ever cared for in his life. On that very moment, Sandile walked in and stood behind Bonakele, placed a gun on the back of his head. Bonakele, Mr. Mbiko, so I was waiting for this moment. I knew you'd come looking for me. Sandile, really? Well, I guess it's nice to meet you, Bonakele, the murderer. Bonakele, no sir, I am Bonakele the Deejay, and you are Sandile Mbiko, the murderer. Sandile, yada blah 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 blah. Say your last prayers, son, while you still can. Bonakele, don't you want to say hi to your grandson? Sandile, I will, right after taking care of you. Bonakele, you know, my wife's last words were, "We are okay, baby. Don't worry. We're waiting for you." I now know what she meant. My brother, mother, and my wife, they're waiting for me wherever they are. Oh, and your grandson's name is Baxolele. Bah! A gunshot. Securities ran up to find what's going on. As they slowly walked into the room, Bonakele was laying on the floor in a pool of blood, and Sandile was again arrested for the murder of Bonakele Hlengu. Baxolele Hlengu, Bonakele and Xolelwa's son, was adopted by Mr. and Mrs. Ranchi.